You want to talk about it? I'd rather laugh about it. Let's get a little dark about it on the Traumedy Show. Welcome to the Traumedy Show. I'm your co-host, Rachel Wilford.
And I'm your other co-host, Megan Wilford.
And today we have a very special guest, our wonderful friend, Blake.
Oh.
Yay! Welcome to the Traumedy Show.
So exciting. Pink everything. I'm in heaven right now.
Yes.
Blake also used to have a pink couch back in the day.
It's
Newly
like the
single pink
Bachelorette,
couch. Yes.
like staple, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe you need to get another pink couch
Maybe that's
in this
what's
new
gonna give
era.
me my power
Spoiler
back.
alert.
Ooh, I think a pink couch would also work in your living room too, though.
Oh,
It'd be
well,
super
I
cute.
decorated around my whole house. The rest of my house
Yeah.
is decorated around the pink couch. And now that I don't have a pink couch,
Yeah.
it's kind of strange.
Ooh, yeah, a pink couch is
But
necessary.
I think it might have to make a reappearance.
Yes.
And that I got mine on sale. It was literally in the middle of the store, and and everybody walked by it. And I'm like, why has nobody bought this? It's $700. $700 for a pink couch, and I was like, say less.
I think my
Going into my home.
perception of furniture prices is off as an adult.
Well, she got hers on Facebook Marketplace for $100.
$100.
Was it $100?
It was like maybe two. So when you're like $700,
Oh my God.
I was like, oh my God.
You guys, the rest of the ones in the store were probably $1,200.
Well, this is also not, I mean, my cat destroys every furniture piece that I mean, as you can see.
Yeah, so do my
here.
kids.
So I never bother trying to get anything new. This is also a very uncomfortable couch.
Oh,
Pink it may be, comfortable.
It's true. It's for the eye and not the ass.
You can move the sectional pieces though and put your feet out.
It's very dynamic.
It's a dynamic, uncomfortable, cute, fucked up couch.
that, I have to
everyone wants.
admit, mine was not very comfortable either.
They don't bother
That's the
making
rule.
the pink ones comfortable. No, they're like,
it's
she's not
usually-
buying it.
You
for
know, it's
comfort.
usually in a room that nobody uses, and so as a statement piece. So I actually use.
I wish I had an apartment big enough to have a room that I don't use.
One day.
Yeah.
Pink couch gang though.
One day we'll get there.
You guys want to talk about how you met?
Yeah, I want to talk about how we became friends. Actually, I think you should.
I was gonna say, do you want me to talk about how I stalked you?
Yeah.
Wait, I actually don't even really know if I know this.
Oh, really? That's cute.
Okay, so I don't even actually know how I found you. I think it was through Cole.
For context, like I went to school. Oh, it's fine. I think we
Okay,
could talk about Cole.
okay,
we talked
okay.
about Cole on here before. Cole
like,
is
oh,
a
no,
big
we said
listener
her
of the
name.
podcast. She's one of my friends from high school.
Yes.
She has, so Blake is one of two sets of twins in her family.
Yes.
Cole and Gage, her brother, are one set. And I went to high school with them and we're good friends. And Blake is Cole's older sister.
Yep.
So
Yep.
that's how we were kind of connected already. And you actually played soccer and coached and stuff with the Wolf
Yes,
too.
I
so
did.
I always knew who you were actually through
Yes.
him. He always
Okay.
spoke very highly of you.
Oh,
And
okay.
I was like,
News
yeah, I
to
mean,
me.
I know some of those Cerbonies, but I've never actually really met Blake.
Oh my gosh.
I met you at Kevin's birthday
I
party.
remember that.
That was the
Yes.
first time I met you
I
and
remember
only
that.
time. And
Yes.
then the Wolf and I break up.
Yes, and then
Oh,
so I
okay.
hear about the breakup, and
Yeah.
then Cole. It was like a mutual follow situation.
Yeah.
Happened to click on Rachel's story, and it was literally love at first sight. It's the best way I can describe it. And I
my
got
gosh.
completely entrenched. I mean, entrenched in watching your entire story, and it was like the rabbit hole of all rabbit holes, where I was like, okay, I mean, just the scrolling that happened
Because
going
we were on
down
Cousin
deep.
Moon, weren't we? We were in
Yes.
Europe.
And then
when this
What
happened.
a time to follow us on
It
Instagram.
was literally like I'm tuning into a show.
You
Right now.
Oh my
literally-
God.
So then
You're like, these girls should have a podcast.
and then I took the bold step of getting outside my comfort zone and literally was like, I'm basically in love with you. Can we meet and talk?
She sent me that
And-
message. I should go find that original message. It's really cute.
And
Cute.
I was
For
like,
this
I just
episode.
feel like I need to meet you. Can we talk?
Yeah.
Which maybe you thought I was a lesbian at that point. I don't know.
I didn't. What's funny?
As I'm saying it out loud, I'm like, wait, that is so forward. and
No,
kind
not
of-
at all.
Straight girls sometimes talk to other girls
Not at all.
like
Yeah.
we're dating, and
Yeah.
like the way
and
you
that's
get,
just like my personality,
Yeah.
obviously.
I am
But-
so for the friend crushes, the girl crushes.
true.
Like, always
they're like
have
a
was
been.
a
bigger
major
deal
crush.
almost.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, I have a new friend and she's so cool and so pretty.
Yes.
And like, I
Precisely.
just,
All
maybe I
of
am
my
a little
best
gay.
friendships have started with mutual girl crushes.
True.
Like all of my closest friendships have started
And I
that
really
way.
do believe in like attraction for all sexes. You know, it's like you feel that like innate something for someone, but
Yeah.
it's not necessarily sexual, right? So it's like
Or sometimes it is.
but I've just
Don't
for the
rule it
record,
out.
I am not
Shout
a
out
lesbian.
to the bike.
Just to make it extremely clear.
Blake has come onto the podcast to confess her love for Rachel.
That is not what this podcast is about, just so everybody knows.
We're going to
You're
take
on
a
the edge
brief
of your seat.
intermission so Blake and I can go into the bedroom. We'll be right
Oh my
back.
God. So anyway, I reach out to Rach and she thankfully is very open and receptive to
I was pumped.
receptive to my invitation. So we meet and sit at coffee and talk for like an hour and a half probably. And
We
I
just sat down and you were like, tell me
everything.
Yeah.
And it was like literally one of these like, tell me more.
Oh my gosh.
And it was, I remember I had to go and I was like, I hate that I have to go right now. Can we please reconvene? And like, I'll tell you my story, whatever it was, but it was literally, I'm not just saying it, like soul love at first sight, you know? And then we get introduced to Meg and then, you know.
Well, I remember
end of
Rach
story.
talking about you as well. And like, oh my God, you're going to love her. And like, she's also gotten divorced in the past and pink couch. Like,
I love that was a huge
Pink couches just bring people together. They really do.
Bachelorette pink couch era. So yeah, I remember going over to your place for the first time and also like telling my story and having the same like, oh my God, okay, tell me more.
Yeah,
Like,
totally. Yeah. And I just feel so connected. Like being empowering and like connecting with women is such a huge part of my life.
Oh, yeah.
And like I mentor young kids sometimes too. And so it's just like to have that connection with women, it can be even more powerful than with a partner, I think.
Yeah.
And those
easily.
relationships are so important. And so when you find them, you got to like really nurture them. And I just feel so grateful.
It's cute because like I feel like I give off such big sister energy because I'm the oldest of four, and I've always like wanted a big sister too. So I feel like Megan's been my best friend my whole life, and she's like a year older than me, and my other friend Sabrina too my whole life. Like I feel like
definitely am not your big sister.
no, but I feel like I want
If anything,
that.
you are mine.
Yeah, but I feel like I want
bad.
that. I go
Yeah,
for that.
everybody
I
wants
crave
that.
that.
Yeah.
I feel like I seriously feel like I found that in you, and it's really cute. Like we have such a good friendship, but I also look up to you so much too, and I think that
that's
you're so wise and so sweet, and I value your friendship a lot.
I love you so much. And I tell you every time I have too many drinks. Literally, I have a moment with Rachel every time I drink, and I'm holding her for way too long, and people are like, "Are they okay over there?" And
We're just making out. It's fine.
I remember the last time we were at Swallows, and someone was like, they were like, "Are they okay?" Like, she's like, "Are you guys okay?" And I was like, "Actually, yeah, we were just having like the best moment ever."
Yeah, like thanks for ruining it. I love
Anyways.
those moments.
Professing my unprofessed love for you.
I mean,
no,
just,
it's
like,
not unrequited. It is requited.
Rocking in your arms because I'm so much shorter than you.
I'm cradling you like a fucking newborn in the club.
Cradling your older sister.
When I saw that video, I'm like, I literally look like her child. It's fine.
Wait, we should post that video too.
It's really cute.
Yeah,
It's cute.
we need to do like
Oh my god.
out of context.
Yeah.
So ridiculous.
Yeah.
Okay.
People
Okay.
need the context of our friendships. Oh, cute. Very wholesome intro.
Love it. Oh my god, yeah, you already got a little teary-eyed.
I know.
Aw.
Okay, well, now we can pin it to your
Yes.
trauma.
Now we can get the tears rolling. Okay.
Pivoting.
Yes.
Trauma.
Yes.
Your story.
Trauma.
So Blake is
My
here to
story.
tell a harrowing tale of marriage, of deceit, of trust, and children, and all the things.
All of
Triumph.
You name it, it's in it.
How was that summary?
Turpentine.
Turpentine.
I don't actually know what that means.
I actually don't either.
Turnips and turpentine.
Name of the episode.
Oh, God. Like, we're just going to let you take it away.
Where do you like to start?
Okay, so I guess I should just tell you guys that I'm going through a separation right now.
Yeah.
And obviously going to be a divorce for the second time, mind you.
With two different people. It's
Two
not the
different
same
people,
person. Yeah.
yes. Which I'm 37, so it's like, and I have 2 children, one from each marriage. And it's funny because they reached out to me about doing the podcast, or you guys did. And I was like, I don't know if I want to do that. But at the same time, it's like, I because of what's happened, which I'll share in my story, I'm just on this like integrous journey to live in my authentic truth and to just remind myself that I am a person of integrity and that I believe in myself and I trust myself. So just to back it up. So my person that I'm going through a divorce with right now, Sam, he and I got together when we were, we actually met playing soccer. And, so he's 6 years younger than me. And, I remember
he's 31.
Say it again.
He's 31 right now.
He's 31 right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Sam is his pseudonym. It's not his real name.
Correct. And we, I remember thinking, cause he played soccer with Gage. And so I remember thinking like, when he was kind of like hitting on me, I was like, wait, that's kind of weird. You know, like you're you're so much younger than me. But anyway, so long story short, like he is in the military and he ended up like getting deployed right when we started talking, and we decided that we wanted to stay together. And it kind of just like, it was good in ways because we actually talked like while he was gone. And we had to get to know each other, not in a physical way, but it was also not good because like we didn't get to like live with each other and actually see how each other were in a relationship. And when you live with someone, you learn some things so much quicker than, and like some people don't believe in living with your person before you get married. And I think it's like absolutely essential because it's like, you need to know those person's idiosyncrasies. You need to know what you will put up with, what you won't, how they handle certain things. And it needs to be in your face so that you can have a like true perspective of what marriage would be like. So anyway, he went abroad and he like, before he left, he was like, I want to be with you. I want to marry you. And I was just like, wait, what
How long had you been dating at that point?
So we had been dating for about like 4 months, like 4 or 5 months.
And just for clarification for our listeners, this is after your first divorce.
After my first divorce, I was like completely single. And so, so he went away and then we talked the whole time. And then I actually found out then, I don't think I've told you this, but that he had told me before he left that he wanted to marry me. And like, he wanted, like when he got back, we wanted to do that. But then I saw him like reaching out to other girls on Instagram and like him being thirsty.
Whoa.
And so
how did you find it? Were you just
it was like, I mean, I just saw on his Instagram and like what he had commented on and like, obviously, you know,
publicly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow. Yeah, totally.
Were you in an exclusive relationship with him at that point?
Because we had decided we wanted to be together once he got back, but we knew like being like committed to each other while he was on deployment, it was like really silly because obviously we hadn't spent enough time together, whatever. But I remember him specifically saying like, I want to be with you. Yeah. And so when I saw him like reaching out to other girls, I was like, that's really weird. Like you said, like to want to marry someone and still being thirsty is really strange. Yes. It's different if you're like dating and it's like you find that out and like there was no promise of like wanting to be together later. But I remember it just like threw me. So that was like the very beginning of our relationship, like where he was already reaching out to other people. And so then I was like, okay, I guess we're not like dating or like committed to each other. I'm going to open myself up. So then I ended up, you know, talking to someone and like started dating them. And then I remember this specifically, he ended up finding out that I was dating someone while he was on deployment, and he freaked the fuck out and was like, just went ballistic. And I was like, hang on, you've been reaching out to people too. Like I thought, like clearly you weren't as invested in this. Like I know you said you wanted to marry me, but your actions obviously didn't show that. So this was already happening like way before. And so anyway, at that time, I realized his reaction really set me off. And I was like, oh my God, like I want to be with you. Like I literally broke up with the person the next day because I realized, oh my gosh, maybe he does really love me. And he does want to be with me because he would never react this way if he didn't. And I want to be with him. This person is kind of just like filling the time and space right now while he's gone.
Yeah.
And so I remember I was just like, okay, I'm done with that person. Like, fine. And then obviously he was hurt and it took him a while to get over it. But so then we were like kind of talking, kind of not. He was still really upset. So he found all that out in like November, and I broke up with the person right after that. And then the following February, he got home.
I wish I was a therapist because I feel like that is such a thing. It's manipulative, I feel like.
Oh, totally.
It's
completely.
He was already talking to other people, whatever. He finds out you're doing it, and it's the end of the world.
Right.
Flips the script, makes you feel guilty.
Rach, this is the epitome of our relationship. Like that's like, this is what happens later with like the affair or whatever. So anyway.
So like his own guilt, or I can't even.
I'm sorry
to
to tell this like extremely long back version, but I feel
like you don't need to rush through it.
It's very important because that's been the premise of our relationship from day one, basically.
Yeah. Don't feel like you need to rush through it. Like the detail, I took 3 episodes to go through my shit.
I know.
Like I understand.
I know. So thank you guys for your patience. Rushed. But anyway, so then. Basically, we're like kind of talking. He's still really upset. So I don't know if you guys know, but when you get back from deployment, it's a mandatory 30-day leave from work. So you come home and you do not report back to like your job. You are supposed to leave and like not report for duty for 30 days as a mental health respect. So he was like, okay, yeah, I'm coming home for 30 days because he was stationed in New York. And the only reason I met him playing soccer is because he was on a break and like for winter break. And then he went back. So we were doing long distance basically the whole time. So then he gets back and we're from the same city. And so I basically told him, I was like, look, you said you want to marry me. If you are really serious about this, move in with me for the 30 days that you are on leave. And let's see if this works. And if it does, then let's be together. If it doesn't, we know and we can say our goodbyes and go our separate ways. But I feel like you and I need to be in the same space in order to figure out if we actually want to be with each other. And he agreed. And so he moved in with me. And there's more to this. But basically, he moved in with me for that 30 days. And by the end of the 30 days, we had gotten married and eloped. So he moved in like March 6th and we got eloped March 7th or April 7th. And then he left to go back to finish his tenure with the military and finish his, I think at that time it was like 5 years. And then he was like planning to get out of the military and move back home, like move from New York to where I was.
And within those 30 days, you felt like everythling was amazing.
Well, yeah, it was like,
right.
Totally. And it was everything that I had wanted. I felt like he was like fully present and we like went on a trip together and we traveled well together. And it was like, I kind of designed it to see, how it would go. Obviously in retrospect, we shouldn't have gotten married right then. Like should have been like, okay, we can live together when you move back here. Yeah. Let's go along a little further. But I will say guys in the military, they like to get married really quickly because their benefits increase so much. Yeah. They get certain tax breaks. They get a ton of different even just financial benefits for being married. You get an extra stipend. Like there's so many. And then obviously he wanted to take care of me and have his benefits go to me as well. So it was like, it was like mutual beneficial. And so, anyway, long story short, we get married, we eloped, we went to the courthouse and, I obviously was so excited and like, I was like, okay, this is actually going to work. Let me back up even farther. Even when and I started talking, so he was like, I was warned from people. Like Gage even was like, I don't know about this, Blake. Like, I just don't know if this is a good idea. Like he has a really bad history. And as we all do as women.
I didn't know you and I didn't know him well, but I also knew he had a reputation.
Correct. And so it was, but as women, we always think we can change somebody or like, we're the special
well, that was
one
before he met
whatever.
me or people can change.
Correct. And so
Which they can, but men can't. Just kidding. We literally had Jacob on the podcast last night talking about that was a joke.
oh my God, that was like so amazing that you just did that.
Sorry, Jacob.
Oh my God. So anyway,
But in terms of like starting a new relationship with someone, it is definitely something to be wary of.
totally.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it was like,
They need to change on their own. We can't change them.
absolutely,
That's a better way
absolutely.
of
And
saying
it's,
it.
We
it
can't
really
always
is,
be the exception
as
to
we
the
know,
rule.
Right.
such a personal journey. Right. And I don't know why I felt differently about that. Like that was an extreme red flag when someone that cares about you warns you, and I just ignored it because I was in lust and like, in love or whatever. And I should have taken a step back and been like, you're right. Let me dig into this a little bit more. But I just didn't because I didn't want to hear it, And so anyway, that's the precursor. Then anyway, so we get married, and obviously I'm happy, like as anybody would be, whatever. But everyone is kind of shocked, right? Because it was like a lot of my family didn't even know that I got married. And it was like, hey, it was like a phone call. I literally called my parents to tell them, and that was it. I didn't call my siblings, which you know how close I am with my siblings. And I basically, in retrospect, I realized I didn't want to hear no. Like I didn't want someone to tell me, no, you shouldn't do that.
Well, and
It
considering
was-
how kind of like messy your first divorce was
Totally.
too, people were probably like, how are you not proceeding with more caution? Oh my
correct.
gosh. Yeah.
And it's totally fair, you know?
Yeah.
And it's funny because go back again. I remember when initially said he wanted to marry me. I'm like, no, I'm never getting married again. Like, no, it's a bad idea. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. Like, I just don't really trust myself, blah, blah, blah. And then somehow I did it again. And so anyway, so we end up getting married. He goes back to New York, and I'm in my area.
Southern California.
Yeah. Let's put it there. And so that was in April that we got married. He left the next day, and then he was coming back in September.
That's so hard.
Yeah. And so it was like, okay, we're doing long distance one last time, and then you're moving back.
Wait, I thought he was going to be in the military for 5 years.
That was the end of his 5 years. And then he was going to go National Guard, which is more of a volunteer base.
Oh, okay.
Where you still get the military benefits, but you're not active duty, where they tell you where to move every 2 years. Because that was the whole thing. Like, because I had a daughter and at the time, and there was no way I could move every 2 years when she's in school and all the things, right? And so that was kind of the agreement. So
7 months of long distance.
well, it was actually going to be the 4th to the 9th. So like 5 more months of long distance. And then he was going to move back and be permanently living with me.
Okay.
So I think it was, let's see. I think it was like June, April, May, June. Yeah, like June or July. I'm at a work event, and I get this DM on my phone, and it, like, my work events, I have to present, right? So it was like, I was actually sitting and waiting to like go up and talk. And so I get this DM on my phone, and it's from a girl, and wants to send you a message, right? And I was like, I don't know why my heart dropped immediately. And the message said, "Hey, are you married to Sam now?" And I looked at it, and I was like, oh my gosh. And I was like, I need to respond to this later. And then I was like, I can't. I need to respond to it right now. And I was like, yes, why? And she's like, I feel like I need to call you and tell you something. And
Everybody hates a
again,
girly
my
text.
heart is like, I'm like shaking thinking about it. Like, I remember just being like, I can't go and talk right now. Like, I'm freaking out, and I need to know what is this like? And I knew what it was, but I didn't know exactly what it was, right?
Yeah.
But
and
it was
so
an icky feeling.
Yeah, it was just you
not
get the
good.
ick immediately. And so anyway, I was like, is he reaching out to you? And she said, yes. Can you call me? And I was like, I can call you in 45 minutes. And so
Then you went and did your presentation.
So I did my presentation. Don't
my
know
gosh.
how the fuck I did that. And
Probably
then-
blacked out. Women are incredible.
I think I blacked out. Yeah,
Yeah.
I totally did. You know, and it's so crazy how women can do that type of
Yeah,
thing. But
compartmentalize to
oh
just
my God,
like,
just get through it.
I don't have time to think about
and
that right now.
Yeah. I mean, we can talk about that later. But anyway, so I get the message. I go outside. I like finish the event, say goodbye to everybody, and then I go into my car and I call her, and she's like, "Just so you know, is like sending me inappropriate pictures. He's talking about my ass and like making comments. He even like comments on my kids. He's snapping me all the time and just like telling me all this stuff."
Is this a person that he was friends with, or was she just someone random on Instagram?
It was a random on Instagram, but like not really random because he knew her through the military and they were like at the same military base for a while, and then she got restationed.
Yeah.
And so it was like through social media.
Yeah.
But he had known her previously.
Got it.
And so anyway, she's like, and obviously I'm fuming, right? Like I'm turning red. I feel like there's steam coming out of my ears.
Yeah.
And she's like, I am so sorry. She's like, my husband is actually the one that wanted me to reach out to you. Yeah. And then in my head, I'm like, why were you on Snap when you there's, if you're giving things for people to comment on, they're going to comment on it. But anyway, it's a whole other story. But anyway, I said to her, look, I'm so grateful for you. Like, please, I'm not mad. I so appreciate you reaching out to me, taking the time. And in my head, I'm like, this has clearly been going on for a long time, right?
Yeah.
Because she finally got the courage to reach out to me, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't,
and
it's
like,
not
did
just
she
like,
know you were married
he did
the whole time?
Yeah, well, and that's the thing is like, she saw on Instagram that he had been married. Like because he had posted a picture of us getting married. And so she was like, what is going on here? Kind of thing.
Yeah.
So that's when she reached out to
Got
me.
it.
So I call Sam and he happens to be in New York with my twin sister at the time because we had just visited there and his car broke down and he had to leave it in like a different part of New York to go. And then he had to go back to work and then he was coming back to like pick it up. So when I call him, he's sitting next to my sister in a bar.
Oh my gosh.
And I blacked out.
Your twin sister, your closest person in life.
And the amount of like audacity, my sister's like helping you. And like, this is the person you're being, like you're probably Snapchatting this person right now.
Yeah.
Clearly it was very recent. Like it probably happened that morning and
Totally.
he did. So then I obviously call him out, scream at him. Are you kidding me? Like we've only been married 3 months. You said you were done with this stuff. Like I remember like looking in the mirror as I was like screaming in the phone and I was like, I'm scary right now. But I was so pissed because
It's like out of body.
It really was. And I was like, we just got married. You begged me to marry you. Like, why would you do that? I'm so confused. And I was like, and you're sitting next to my fucking twin sister and Snapchatting someone. Like the amount of disrespect is on another level. I was like this, and she's helping you with your car and she has training today and you're in her space and she's letting you spend. I was just losing my shit actually. And so anyway, he's like, oh my God, like he's like freaking out, like, oh my God. And I was like, why are you doing, like, why would you do this? Like, I'm just so confused. Why are you doing this to me? Like, I have a fucking daughter, like, you know what I mean? I was just, what's the point, you know? Yeah. And why are you still up to this? I just kept saying that. So anyway, we ended up talking for like 2 hours and come to find out there is not just one. There are 11 different women.
I honestly can't believe he copped to it all.
Say it again.
I can't believe he copped to all of that.
Me neither. But then at the end, like what I was thinking and in retrospect now, I'm like, that could have just been a number. There probably were more. Yeah. And he probably just said that number as a safe number.
Because that's what the wolf would do.
Yeah, exactly.
He would admit to enough to make it seem believable.
Correct.
And if he just
the
said
fact that 11
there was only one,
is a safe number
literally
is also very alarming.
Oh my gosh. So this is all coming out and I'm just like, this is unbelievable. Come to find out, even when he was at home with me for that 30 days, he was reaching out to people before we got married.
No.
Fishing, asking them if they wanted to hang out, on his phone constantly. Didn't even know. Yeah.
It's clearly a problem.
So anyway,
Ooh, that's despicable.
so I told him I'm taking my ring off.
begging
like,
you
we're
to
done.
marry him. That just infuriates me.
I mean, it was interesting because I was like,
It was interesting.
I'm just like, this is so messed up.
Yeah.
I like you have problems. Like, how can you do this with one person and live a whole different life essentially?
Yeah.
And then in comes my story. But anyway, so that happened and I was like, okay, I'm taking my ring off. Like, we're done. You know, I can't believe you would do this to me. Like, what the heck? So anyway, we finished the conversation and then like he goes into a really deep depression, like almost automatically. And like he's not eating. He's like, to me, I thought he was somewhat taking a look at like who he truly was and, you know, understanding like, wow, I'm actually really hurting people. So we ended up talking on the phone every night and like trying to get to the bottom of it for like 4 days straight, like through the night, just talking, and like getting to the root of it all. And so we get to the point where I'm like, if you don't, I basically set ultimatums. Like, you need to get rid of your social media. You need to stop drinking. Like you need to like start journaling and taking a deep look at who you are, because you clearly don't know and your habits are awful. And you need to share that with me every day. And there was a feeling inside me, and I don't know why, but it was like God was telling me that he needed me, and this was his like time to become a man. And I kept on having this overwhelming feeling of like, don't leave him. And obviously I should have, like in retrospect, like I don't know why I didn't, but I kept on having that feeling of like, this is not like, you can't leave him right now, almost to the point of like, he would have done something to hurt himself kind of thing. Not that he ever would, but that was the feeling I had, was like, I don't know if this is a safe thing for me to not be with him. I need to help him grow.
I mean, Rachel had the same exact thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I was in this space of like, okay, I'm just going to wear it. I'm going to wear that he did this to me, that everyone's going to look at me a certain way because I'm staying with this person that did to me.
You almost like make yourself responsible and you take the onus on yourself just to like, I don't even know what it is. It's like a badge of honor or something.
I know.
In a very twisted
it's
fucking
martyrism.
way. Yes, it is.
Know?
Yes, it is.
And it was,
I'm the bigger person.
yeah,
I stayed with
I'm so
him.
helpful. I'm amazing, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
And so I did. And so I basically told him, I was like, you can't live here when you come back here. So this was like, we had like 2 months more, probably like a month. It was like a month that he was going to come home. So, and I was like, when you get back, you're not living here. Like, you need to earn your ring back and all the like me putting my ring back on.
Can I ask, did you know of any like actual like physical cheating that he was doing?
So no, he never admitted it.
Okay.
And
that's the key.
Yeah. So it was never like, he claims that it was all just fishing and reaching out. But I talked to Karen, our intuition coach, and she confirmed differently. So
I'm not surprised.
yeah, I know.
I mean, intuition, a woman's intuition, a psychic's intuition.
Yeah.
It's like,
The wolf also said the same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
It was just messages. It was just virtual.
Right.
No,
Yeah.
he's fucking other women.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so, so I will never know. Let's put it that way. But I'm,
you know.
I know.
you know,
Right.
right.
And you have a feeling, right? And
Yeah.
so anyway, we end up like trying to work it out. He stays at his parents for 2 weeks once he gets back, and then he starts trying to work his way in. He did seem very sorry. He did make surface level changes, is what I call them now, which was like the social media, but like the actual looking deep within himself and making sure he didn't repeat the same mistake wasn't exactly the process. And he also ended up losing so much of the person that I had fallen in love with. Like, he was super outgoing and like fun, and we would party together sometimes, like actually a lot when we first started dating. And then everything changes. He didn't drink anymore. He was very quiet. He didn't share anything. Like, he became like a shell of a human in a way. And it was an acceptance because I thought he was growing and I thought this was the next step of him becoming a man and whatever. So that's why I was like okay with it. But then again, everything kind of changed. Like he lost a lot of his confidence. Like our sex life wasn't as good and like as frequent. And like it was in the beginning, obviously, like when we were kind of dating, it was like so amazing, obviously during that 30 days, but it was like, it definitely took a big hiccup. And again, I committed to this person. So I was like, okay, well, I have to follow through. And, you know, I vowed to them that I would be through sickness and health. And this is like a mental health thing, whatever it is, whatever. So anyway, he became like super different, but then it started to get a little bit better. And then,
and I'm sure what was going on with you was like trust issues.
And then like, that's like when it starts, you know, it's like, okay, well now our foundation is literally fucked. Like we don't have one. And like this trust and respect needs to be completely rebuilt. And
it's never the same.
Yes, you're taking action in some ways, but it doesn't just happen overnight. And like now I'm curious about every phone call that you get or text I hear. And it's everything is triggering everything. And so, we, you know, did our best to rebuild it, but obviously I still had like trauma and I was trying to be fine with it all. And like, I basically pushed everything under the rug, like my emotions about it, because he needed so much attention in like his journey. I was just trying to get him to become normal again kind of thing. But yeah, I was like super hurt. And I also am the type of person where I don't want to be pitied. And so I didn't want that feeling of like, oh, poor Blake, or, now you're changing and just being nice to me and acting like you love me because you did something bad to me. Where it's like, I just want it to be like an organic, you know how I am, like natural love that's just like oozing out of us. And it was very like rigid, like, you know, like sex in the jacuzzi.
Wow, what an analogy.
And that's how you get BV.
Cautionary tale. This one's for the girls.
Oh my gosh. Sorry, I just had to say that. I was like, whenever I do that sound, it's always when I'm talking about that. So anyway.
Like sex in a jacuzzi.
So anyway, like
that, just like
that fast
just
forward.
in general to describe things.
In
Like,
front of my
how's that
daughters
taste?
too. No, I'm just
It
kidding.
tastes like
sex in a jacuzzi.
And then it's such a confusing statement because I feel like people would be like, is that good or is that bad?
Melonias, can you slow down? You're driving like we're having sex in the jacuzzi.
It just can mean so many things.
The lighting in here is reminding me of sex in the jacuzzi.
You guys.
Which my interpretation is you think it's going to be really good, but it ends up being horrible.
Correct. So anyway, we're trying to work it out, whatever. So then things get a little bit better. Obviously, time starts to heal. And again, our foundation is not great, but we're working on it. He decides like, and we discuss and agree to that we want to get pregnant. Right. And so that was literally 3 months later. So it was like, yeah.
Oh, you got pregnant in like
December.
Wait.
So he
3 months after he got back.
3 months after he got back. So I got
Okay.
married or like pregnant in December. And then I ended up having Junie at late August. No, it was actually November. So it was even shorter. So it was like, 2 months. So then I had her the following, in 22.
No better way to fix a relationship maybe
God.
than to,
Typical.
Yeah.
I mean, so typical. And so, and I knew, like, we did both want that, and I knew I wanted more kids.
Yeah.
Like, Blue was putting on the full court press, like, you're ever going to give me a sibling, like, all the things. And so, as I'm pregnant, I actually, so Sam goes to flight school. And it's really stressful for him, and it's a foreign language. I don't know if you guys know flight school.
My brother's trying to be a pilot right now.
Okay,
and
it's
gnarly.
it's so intense, and Sam had to work extra hard in order to even like keep up, and it was just really outside his comfort zone in a lot of ways. It was like the first thing he had done after the military. And so it was just, but he told me that his ultimate dream was to become a pilot. You guys know how I am about vision and dreams. Like I was just like, okay, if that's what you want, we'll do everything we can to get you there. So as I'm pregnant, I'm supporting us through his entire, like not obviously paying for flight school. It's a huge expense. We took out a loan for that, but I'm like supporting our family.
Yeah.
Pregnant, getting like, making sure we have food on the table as he's in flight school, which is about, you know, it was like 6 months long, 6 or 8. And so he finishes, and then right after that, like I'm basically going into labor. And so then he ends up working at a restaurant. Like, so, we have like a couple weeks off with no income. And then, he ends up like going to work at a restaurant after that. So he comes home like one day after, like a month after he's been working at the restaurant. Junie's a month old. And, he's like kind of like excited. And I mean, mind you, remember, he's like kind of a different personality now. Like there's obviously like pieces that come out and like better, some days are better than others, but
Was
like,
he totally not drinking at this point anymore?
yeah, he wasn't drinking. He didn't drink for like almost 2 years.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And so anyway, he comes home, he's like really excited or whatever. And I don't know why, like my antennas went up. And so,
Because old Sam is back, maybe.
yeah, exactly. So then, he gets in the shower and I go through his phone and I see a girl from flight school that he had been texting, and they have like a long history. And I see that certain, like the conversation doesn't flow. So things have been deleted. You guys, mind you, I have a 1-month-old daughter that I just had at my full postpartum body, not feeling amazing about myself.
I'm sure you're not having sex yet. You literally can't.
Full raging hormones, like all of it. Okay. So I go through his phone and I see that there's text missing. And so I call him out and he's like, oh, as I always do, you're crazy. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, stop. Like, you're nuts. Like, no. Yeah. And I was like, Sam, I can see that there are texts missing. Like, what is missing? So long story short, she had sent him a picture and he basically said, you look super hot, to one of these girls from flight school. And it was almost like the way he said it, it was like that was a normal thing, like way that they spoke to each other. Mind you, after Sam and I went through the initial thing, I had so much insecurity, obviously. Oh, yeah. And I remember always like having to ask him to give me compliments, ask him to show me how much he appreciated me. And he never used those words like you look hot or you look amazing or never told me I was beautiful. None of it. I mean, it was like literally never. And I remember thinking like, why do I have to ask for this?
Yeah.
You know?
And he's giving it freely to other women.
Readily to other women. And so again, he never admitted that he actually did anything physical with this person. Either way, the attention alone. So anyway, I lose my shit yet again. And I'm just like, we have a 1-month-old together. We now have a family. Like, how dare you do this? What the fuck is your problem? Like, you literally have an issue. How can you do this to me again? You know? And I remember thinking like, and now as I get into the part 2 of the story, but I remember that was my turning point of like, he does not love me. Like, this is really bad. I don't know if this will ever work. He's never going to change. Like, these were the ultra daunting, like detrimental feelings of like, this may not work kind of. And I obviously stayed and I shouldn't have, but it was like, I was so vulnerable. And I mean, it was again, all the hormones and everything, like it just wasn't time to leave. And I was just like not ready to do that at that time. But it was like, I should have, because it was just ongoing and never going to stop. And come to find out, he did it again when he was at the restaurant. Anyway, he's scheduled to get deployed again. We decided after the first deployment, because it was so awful, that he wasn't ever going to get deployed again, because it just isn't good for us. We are better when we're physically together. And so anyway, so we kind of, I guess I should backtrack. Like I remember thinking like, I don't know what to do after the whole flight school girl. But we work it out because we have a kid together and whatever. So then he still continues working at the restaurant. And then, so again, so Junie was born in August. This happened in like September of 22, September or November. So come like March of the next year, 23, he decides that he wants to get deployed. And he's like, it'll help us so much financially. It'll like, you get so many credit benefits, you get tax breaks. I mean, you get like your credit cards basically freeze in interest. There's just so many benefits, and he just makes mad money. He doesn't have to pay, like he can send money home for rent. And like, it really is. I mean, that's why people get deployed all the time. Right.
Okay.
So there's just so many financial benefits. So he's like, I just think this will get us ahead financially. Like, I think it's a really good idea. And I'm like, you seriously want to leave your daughter when she's 8 months old and not see her for an entire year, which ended up happening. And he basically convinced me that this was like the best thing. And he's like, you can stay home. I know you didn't really get that time with Blue because you had to go straight back to work after like 3 weeks, which was true. And I remember telling I wish I could just have that like postpartum time with them and like just be with them. And he's like, this will give you a chance to like actually raise your daughter without having to work. And like, we won't worry about it, blah, blah, blah. And so that's where I agreed to it. So
can I ask at this point, like, had you considered leaving him, or were you like, maybe eventually I will, but I don't feel strong enough yet? Or had you kind of just convinced yourself?
I think it was just like the way he responded, and I really did love him so much.
Yeah.
And I remember every time just thinking like, it's got to get better. Like he's got to get better. And it's going to like, maybe the next thing we do, it's going to help him get better. And he would promise all the things and like still couldn't follow through on them. But it was like, I just remember thinking it's got to get better. And I do want to be with him. Like there's so many things that I enjoy about him. And I never had that feeling of like, I got to get the fuck out. Like I really didn't. I don't know why, but
it could be even some like biological, just had a baby with someone. Your hormones also
just like
your natural
bonded.
instincts, survival
Nurture.
instincts are probably not to go be a single mother as
Correct.
well. Like, so that like,
well, and too, there's the whole ego portion of it, right? Where it's like, what will people think? And you know, like how
especially
do I
because you got
explain
married
this?
quickly, so wanting to prove them
exactly.
wrong.
And this is, and I have self-awareness now where I can like admit that to myself. But that was definitely had to be a factor. Where
Totally.
it's like I was embarrassed, you know. So anyway, he ends up getting deployed in June. So this is now June 2023. The last episode we had was in September 22.
Right before I met you.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. And so anyway, he ends up getting deployed, and I remember thinking like, I don't think this is going to go very well, but it's kind of just like our only, I have to support him in what he truly wants. He really loves the military. Like, all right, let's do it. Game on, you know? And
had he given up on flight school?
Yeah, so good question. So anybody can really complete flight school if you pay the money.
Yeah.
You can't get to the airlines until you complete 1,500 hours of flying, which is an extreme expense.
I see.
And so basically he wanted to continue it. We just like didn't have the money. It's like a really expensive field
to choose.
Yeah,
Okay.
because it's not
my brother's
just,
in a lot of debt.
yeah, it's not just the flight school. It's like you spend an additional $80,000 like flying all the time.
Renting the planes.
Paying for the fuel, paying for the instructor to be there with you because you always fly with two people.
Gosh, I guess that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, and it's just it's just beyond like spewing money in order to do it, and we just like didn't have that. So he's a certified pilot, but he would never get hired anywhere because he doesn't have the hours.
Got it. Okay.
Which he wants to do eventually, but I mean, I don't know if he will anymore. So anyway, he gets deployed, and we kind of like set everything up, and it's like, okay, I stay in my same place, and it's just like, okay, see you in 9 months, you know? And it's fine the first little bit, and we're kind of just like managing it. Like I'm kind of getting a groove. Like you guys know that I just like, once I get in my groove and I find my zone, and I'm just like, I can handle it. Like I'm not a complainer. Like it just, kind of is what it is. I was like, okay, I got my rhythm now. We're good. And then like, meanwhile, he's in like the middle of a war, by the way, like over in the Middle East. But I feel like I should add this, like we had never had any like sexual encounter. The entire time he was gone. We never had phone sex, never had.
Oh, I see.
Like never.
Sending pictures, flirting over text.
Nothing. Like none for
Did
9
you not
months.
talk about it
And
at all?
And it was never spoken of. And to
I miss
me,
you, I miss your body, or
none of that. And I think a lot of it was for me. I didn't want to wake the giant and have him like go into that like mindset, because to me, I was like, if I do that, he'll start reaching out to other women because now he's craving it. Whereas like if he's celibate and like we don't talk about it at all, it'll kind of keep him in a different mindset, keep him focused on work, which is like 0% healthy.
Yeah.
Like
I can understand your thought process.
But it was like I don't want to wake the sleeping giant,
right?
And obviously I have my needs, and he does too. Everybody does, but it was like I remember we didn't even like talk about it, and I was like,
trust wasn't there.
This is not good,
Yeah.
And so anyway, like 3 months in, a previous person, a person from my past, starts reaching out to me, and I don't even,
a previous man,
yes. And I remember initially thinking, because I didn't have his contact anymore, and so when he texted me, it was just a phone number, right?
Yeah.
And so but I knew the way that he was speaking. I'm like, oh no, kind of like I had that like initial reaction, but then I didn't cut it off. And so anyway, he started talking to me, and I remember he basically like made the like kind of like a move basically, and it was like we should meet up one time.
What do you think prompted him to reach out? Was it just totally random?
Well, I think because like we together, and he saw that I was showing up alone. And so I think he was like, okay, obviously like they're either not together or he's gone or whatever.
Yeah.
And so he saw that I was coming alone. And so he like reached out and was like, hey, what's good with you basically? And so we started like kind of texting, and I remember he was like, yeah, well, we should like, I want to see you soon or whatever. And I remember thinking, no, like, no, we can't do that. Like I'm not going to cross that boundary. I know like how I am with you, and no. And I don't know why I continued to entertain it, but I did. And so finally he was like, okay, I'm going to come over at this time. And I was just like, oh my God. Like, and I remember even before he got there the first time, I was just like, am I really doing this right now? Like it's like this whole like crazy, oh my God. And so anyway, like he ended up coming over, and one thing led to the next. This was like probably October. So Sam left in June, and then this was like October.
We got together in October too.
I know, exactly. So anyway, he like came over, and
you guys probably wouldn't have met in public, I'm assuming, like in case that like looked wrong or something.
No, our paths don't cross. No, like
no, I mean like you wouldn't have like gone on a date.
Oh
no, let's go out and get drinks or whatever.
No,
like,
no.
Like he had to come over.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Like it definitely had to be a secret.
Is this person in a relationship too?
They weren't at the time.
Okay,
no, but he knew that I was married. Right.
Yeah.
And so anyway, one thing led to the next. Like it happened, and I remember when he left, I'm like, okay, I can never do that again. Like that was a one-time thing. Like no. So then he like reached out again after that, and I like was still entertaining it. And I remember he came over again, and we were talking on the couch, and I was just like, I don't know, like we should be doing this kind of thing. And he was just like, didn't he cheat on you like a month after you guys got married? And I remember
he knew that.
Yeah. And I was like,
oh shit.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess. And he was like, I mean, is your marriage even legit anyway? And I don't know why.
Rude.
That was like the turning point where I was just like, oh my gosh, like maybe it, like
You're
it, like when
fuck it, is it?
I know,
don't know.
literally
Yeah.
that exactly. And I like, and then it's like replaying all the situations, and I'm
Yeah.
like, fuck, I don't know, maybe you're right. Like, I guess it's not. And
Yeah.
so
Even you know
Yeah,
he cheated on me?
correct.
Right.
Like,
exactly.
who the fuck else knows? Like, what am I even fighting for, I guess?
Literally.
Yeah.
And and then it
Yeah.
was also like, okay, well, it's like I'm embarrassed that everybody knows that anyway, and I'm still with him and whatever.
Yeah.
And so anyway, that was the eruption, and that's what opened up the can of worms.
Yeah.
And we ended up meeting every other week. He would come over to my house late at night. It was literally nothing more than that, but it was simply fulfilling a physical need. And it ended up going on until a month before Sam got home. It was
Were you guys in like an emotional relationship
okay,
as
so
well?
it's so funny you asked that, Meg, because I remember, like, I chose him for a reason. A, he was single. B, I knew he would never, ever tell Sam. I knew I could never, ever fall in love, like fully in love with him to the point where I wanted to be with him full time.
Yeah.
Like, I just knew that I would never let myself go there.
Yeah.
Like, it would never be an affair where it like turned into like a
I'm gonna leave
relationship
you.
with, I'm
Yeah.
gonna leave you for
Yeah.
him. Right. And I also knew that he would keep it secret and he would deny it to the death.
Got it.
And so those were the reasons I chose him.
Yeah.
And it was like 1,000. I really sound like a dude when I'm saying this. It was 1,000% fulfilling a need. I wanted to feel wanted. I wanted to feel beautiful. I wanted to feel that someone thought I was great. Like, and he didn't necessarily give me the verbal affirmation that I wanted, but like physically, the way he kissed me, the way he touched me, the way we were together, it was like, he's into me. Whereas I hadn't felt that with Sam in so long.
Yeah.
And so then it became addicting, right? So it was like after that initial time, I was like, wow, that was so great. Like, that's what it's supposed to be like. And then it was like, okay, great. This is something that I can do while he's gone. I don't need to tell anyone. That person doesn't want a relationship with me. Felipe doesn't want a relationship with me. Like, that's perfect, right?
Yeah.
And then it became, it kind of becomes a game. Like, okay, so am I going to get caught? Like, it's like,
Yeah.
and it was also like kind of fun in that way because it was like my little thing that kept me, because everyone would always tell me during the deployment, you're so amazing. Like, how do you do this? Like, how do you keep your sanity? And in the back of my head, I'm like, you have no idea. I have a whole secret life. Like, I'm getting mine when I need it. Like which sounds so awful, but it was like, that was my way to get through it. Right. And it was like filling clearly a void that I didn't have.
Yeah.
And it really just made the deployment like so much easier for me because I was like, okay, whenever I'm feeling that want or feeling lonely or whatever, it was like he came in and then he would leave. And
Yeah.
it wasn't, we never did anything more than that. It was really actually kind of crazy, like looking back at it now. So anyway, we cut it off. And after
When Sam was going to return.
correct.
Did you think like, okay, when Sam comes back, then things will get better. I will cut this off with Felipe.
Yes.
And like this was just to get through this period of time.
correct. But then I also like was having feelings of like, am I going to miss this? Because like the sex is so good and whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, shoot, I'm like kind of sad it's over because it was like such a fun time. But like at the same time, I have a full other life and I can't do that. So,
And to clarify, no one knew, no friends, no family. You didn't tell us all.
0 people, which
That's
you guys also
hard.
know
Yeah.
that is not my personality either.
Yeah.
I'm typically a very open book. If someone asks me a question, I'm going to be honest with you. And it was a deep, 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 dark secret that I didn't even tell my best friend, didn't even tell my twin sister, who's my best friend. Like nobody knew except me and Felipe. That's it.
There's something so like intoxicating or powerful, but also scary and guilty about that. Like I've been there when I had my affair. Like Rachel didn't know.
Yeah.
And there was
It's
no way I could
crazy.
tell her.
No.
But then it also was addicting. Like, and was the only thing that got me through
Absolutely.
my marriage until I realized I really did need to leave my marriage.
Correct.
And then like, that's why I've also vowed of like, shit, man, I really got to always make sure I'm at least telling Rachel
Yeah.
everything that I do.
It's true. And
Yeah.
I it's so funny that you say that because
Yeah.
McCall, or my twin, I guess I should say, she got home last night and I was like, I literally sat her down like, this is what's going on with me. I'm in complete integrity. This is what I'm up to. Like, I just need you to know right now.
Yeah.
And she's like, okay. And I was like, it's like just a part of my healing. I need to tell everybody about everything. I'm not living in that secret life anymore. It feels like shit. And I'm never going back there, which, I'm glad you brought that up though, because or maybe it was you, Rachie, but, I literally, it was so weird living a lie for so long.
Yeah.
And like, as you know, I'm so close to my family and they were extremely hurt by it when everything came out because they were like, how did we not know this for so long? Do we even know you at all? And it was like, that hurt because it was obviously something that I felt was so personal to me, but they took it personally. Right. And it was like, of course they did. They love me. They want to be, when you're honest with people, you connect with them and like about vulnerability. And I just like basically kept them at arm's length for so long because I was just ashamed and I felt guilt and I didn't want people to tell me no. That's what it came down to. I didn't want, the second I told McCall or Lisa or whatever, it would have been like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, no. And I wasn't ready to hear that. And so that's why I never told anyone. So we cut it off right before Sam gets home and, this needs to be told because it kind of is significant for what happens down the line in Vegas. But so Sam gets home and I remember thinking, first of all, I don't want him to know that I had been with anybody else. Is he going to know like I kind of forget how we were together intimately. Yeah. And I'm kind of nervous if like I act different or whatever. But what more stands out in that first intimate session between us was his lack of like passion. For one, I thought it was either going to be like crazy, wild, like can't keep our hands off each other, or like sensual and like, oh my gosh, I haven't touched a female body in so long. And it was
because it's been 9 months.
It's been 9
gone,
months,
right?
Yeah, we
it's a
hadn't
long
seen each other. Yeah, so it was either. I thought it was either going to be one of those two dichotomies, and it was neither. It was literally so blah, and like. I remember thinking in the middle of it, I'm like, have you been with somebody? Because like you're not like treasuring me and this experience at all. Like it was like I could have been somebody at the bar. Yeah. You know? Yeah. And I was just like, whoa, this is really strange, you know? And so obviously I realize now that was me like the second that happened, I'm like, okay, is this meant to be like, that was like, clearly it was so much better with Felipe. Right. And so I was like, I obviously had cut it off and I didn't want to be with him again, but I was like, this is my life now. Like, this is my sex life. Like, and it was just a really strange feeling. Cause I was like, and then I obviously didn't feel love or like, it wasn't passionate at all. And I was like, we have been married for 3 years. This is not okay kind of thing. Yeah. Yeah. And especially coming back from like a long trip, totally. It like made me realize like, does he really love me at all?
And was he being faithful as well? Like,
I don't know.
Right. We don't know.
And he will never admit.
Right.
So anyway, like he comes back, he's obviously like adjusting to life again. And, so he comes back in April and I have a work trip scheduled for the end of June. And so we're kind of but I remember like in the meantime, like Sam almost felt like kind of depressy. Like he didn't end up getting a job right away. Like he kind of like, again, you get 30 days leave, which he took fully. Right. And then he like didn't jump up to like get a job. Like he almost seemed depressed. Like it wasn't a real positive time. And I remember thinking, why are you still sitting on the couch? Go get a job or go talk to people or whatever. And I kept on kind of trying to nudge him a little bit because I was just like kind of confused, like what's going on. Apparently he had feelings that I was doing other stuff, whatever. But anyway, so it was just, I remember thinking before I ended up going on my work trip to Vegas, I'm like, I told you guys, we sat down remember we were at dinner and I was talking about how I was like, yeah, I just don't know what's up with. Do you remember this?
Yes.
I knew for sure something was up with you
yes.
at that dinner.
Yes.
I
Is
think
this
I
the
told
one
you.
at the winery?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like,
No, it was
something's
the one
going
at
on.
Wind and Sea. It was.
I
At
remember Wind and
Sea.
Sea as well. And I remember you saying like, adjusting has been difficult. And like,
Yeah. And I remember kind of being like, I just wish he would have a little bit more like vigor for life. Like it's just, I don't know. It's not what I want it to be right now kind of thing.
Yeah.
And you guys obviously didn't know about Felipe or anything, but
yeah.
it was like, I was kind of comparing it in my head, you know?
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm going on this work trip and I like through the grapevine find out that Felipe is going to be there. And meanwhile, Sam is at home with our one of our children. And while I'm on this work trip and I end up meeting up with Felipe in Vegas, even though we had decided that it was done and we didn't need to talk to each other anymore. So anyway, we have this like night out in Vegas and I come home. You guys, Vegas. I come into my hotel room and I look into the mirror and I have hickeys all over my neck.
Oh no.
And I look like hell and I'm like, oh my God.
Okay. Also,
I cannot.
Felipe, what the fuck?
He was just like blackout drunk.
Okay. Wow.
So anyway, I like walk in and I was like,
obviously it needed to happen
panic.
for the end or whatever, but like, what the fuck? That's so mean to give you hickeys.
Literally. And I remember thinking, because I had been drinking too, but I was just
Yeah.
like, this like feels like he's going kind of hard. Like that's like too much. And then I looked in the mirror. I was like, this is uncoverable. So anyway, I drive home in complete
And you can't
panic.
just stay in Vegas for a week until
they heal. Exactly. So I'm like,
Like, I was making out with my girlfriends. Just kidding. Please don't endorse.
Rachel was there.
They were like, they were pretending to strangle me. And it was just like too hard. Oh my God. Rachel was there. Perfect height, my giraffe. Just all up in my neck. Anyway, so I drive home and a friend's with me and we're like in extreme panic mode. Like, what are we going to do?
Okay,
and,
so your friend knew at that point.
I had to tell her
Yeah.
because and I didn't want to, but I
Right.
did. But she thought it was just that time, which a lot of people did.
Right.
Nobody knew like the long version of it. So anyway, so we try and cover it up and it's like obviously not really working. And I'm
Like with
coming
makeup.
home from Vegas with makeup on my neck. Like what the fuck,
Yeah.
Like, so I walk in the door and
Yeah.
Sam sees me and it's just like turns
Immediate.
white. And
Oh, shit.
so I proceed to lie and tell him it was a random one night hookup, that it was just someone that I met in Vegas because he has a history with Felipe. And if he were to find out that it was him, I knew it would be like, we would be done. And I know how he is about like cheating or whatever. Like I knew there was a risk of him leaving me anyway. But I lied about it and told him it was somebody else and just a random that I met. And after a couple days, he was like, okay, maybe I need to forgive you and maybe we need to work this out, whatever. And so I'm like, thank God, phew, we're in the clear kind of whatever. So then he decides like, okay, if we're going to do this, I need to go through your phone. And so he starts going through my phone, deleting like every guy that I follow and like on Instagram. And
Ew.
yeah, I mean, yeah. Well, the other option was that he needed to delete my Instagram, which I'm like, I
that's
use
part of your
that
business.
90% for my work. Like
Yeah.
there's no,
Yeah.
you cannot.
Yeah.
And so he was like, okay, I'm going to delete every guy that you follow. I'm fine. I'm like, I'm not on it for thirst trapping. I'm on it literally for work, for leads.
Yeah.
And so, he starts going through my phone. And what I don't know is that he's going through my deleted messages
On Instagram?
on my phone, on my
Like her text.
text messages. So there is, just so everybody knows, the
You can
whole
do
world
that.
knows.
Oh, I didn't
When
know
you are
that.
on your messages, there is an edit button on the top left
Yeah.
that you press and it says recently deleted messages and you can go 30 days back.
Oh, I
Just
didn't
so
know
everybody
that.
knows. So he went through those
I'm
without
so glad
me seeing.
I'm like not
So
fucked for not knowing that. Yeah.
yeah,
It's good to
I would have never known. But
Yeah.
of course, Sam, who is like a professional in
Oh,
this
yeah,
regard,
I'm sure he
knows all the secrets.
I'm sure he knows.
And knows how to delete messages.
I'm sure he knows all the apps.
And how to probably hide the deleted messages.
Yeah.
Right? It's like he's a professional, obviously. So anyway, he's on my phone for about an hour, I would say. And then at the end, like when he like finds the messages.
That's a long time for him to be on your phone. Too.
I know. And I was like, I'm fine. I'm in the clear, you know? So he finds messages from Felipe that were delivered actually after we were in Vegas. And it was said like, I basically said like, don't worry. I covered it up. Sam has no idea. Like we're in the clear, blah, blah, blah. Cause I told him like, and it was also like, how'd you give me these hickeys? Like what the fuck, you know?
Yeah.
And then he's scrolling and
then
scrolling
he's,
and
yeah,
scrolling
exactly.
and seeing it's
Correct.
been going on
The
for a
entire
while.
phone.
Correct.
Yeah.
And so then he all of a sudden like what? Like screams, what the fuck? And gets up like, are you kidding me? Like screaming, yelling in front of our 2-year-old daughter, screaming, yelling, and just like, oh my God, I can't believe, pacing, like actually losing his mind, kind of like the way I did. Slams my phone face down. That first he goes outside and he calls Felipe.
On your phone?
On my phone. Obviously, Felipe does not answer, and he leaves this like awful message. Then he calls Cole and Kevin and tells them everything that's going on, tells me to call you, tells me to call Lisa, tells me to call McCall, like tells me to call all these people, tell them what the fuck you did, blah, 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 blah. Just outside in my front yard trying to embarrass me and put me on blast, which whatever, I somewhat deserve it.
Wasn't he filming you too?
Yeah, and he was filming me like, look at these hickeys on her neck, blah, blah, blah. So just like trying to, you know, make a complete idiot out of me. And then proceeds to slam my phone face down on the ground and leaves to go to Kevin and Cole's. And
Which is fucked because that's your sister.
yeah, I know. And Cole, I felt so bad. She is like so in the middle, and like she has had such a rough time because, which I totally understand. And she's felt like awful, and I'm just like, you know, like you need to support your husband. I totally understand that.
Because
like,
for our listeners, Sam and Kevin are friends.
yeah, they're
like
best
longtime friends. Yeah.
And my sister is his wife, and so anyway, he goes over there and, you know, just tells the story, and I'm just like, okay, my marriage is over clearly. And what's crazy is like Sam and I still have not spoken about what happened. He literally, like, he didn't ever want to hear my side of the story, which he just, it was, I guess, too painful for him. But it was literally like, we're getting divorced, I'm done, no conversation. Whereas like I was in this space of like, obviously I had so much shame and guilt, and like there was so much coming up for me.
Yeah.
But I also like wanted to get to the bottom of it. And like a part of me was like, let's just fucking start over and let's just clean the slate, and like, can we just get back to square one and just recreate our foundation? But by that time we were in this vicious cycle of hurting each other. It was, I mean, pretty unsalvageable.
Maybe like in your previous mind of like, okay, the playing field has been evened a little
correct.
bit. Yeah.
Precisely.
And
that's exactly right. And so I was like, okay, I worked through this when you went through it. I obviously was by your side when you needed it. I need you now to like help me heal. Let's do it together, and like we'll restart. But it was never going to work. Yeah, there was no discussion. He moved to his parents immediately. Decided like we're proceeding with a divorce for sure. Cut me off from everything immediately financially. Meanwhile, I had only been working part-time for so long because I was raising our kids, and luckily my work is designed where I can turn up the dial or turn it down whenever I want. But it was like, I'm moving out and you're paying full rent. And
did he cut off like financial support for your kid too?
Everything. Or? Like it was, everything's now split 50-50. Yeah, it was literally everything. Like I went from not paying, like I didn't pay rent, and now I had to pay rent like $3,500, and also like everything on top of that, you know, just everything. I mean, just every bill, which I paid for most of my own bills, but I didn't pay rent. So then it was like that on top of everything else.
Huge freaking expense.
I mean, I really didn't know if I was going to be able to do it. Yeah. And but then of course, at the end of the day, we all rise when we need to.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, I created this. I need to get myself out of it. And so
Was it the next day after all that blew up that you texted me?
yes,
It was the very next day.
yes. And it was like, cause remember in that middle of that fight, he was like, go tell your friend, your podcast friend, Rachel, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, you're right. I should. And I had decided in that moment that I can't like lie about this. I wasn't ready to tell everyone. But I was like, I don't want to be that person. It was almost like I felt free from the secret that I was going to have to take to my grave, you know? Yeah. In some ways it was a relief. Obviously my entire life got turned upside down.
Yeah.
And now I'm a single mom, but also like splitting up our house and our marriage and everything. But there was somewhat of that feeling of, thank God I don't have to live with this inside me anymore. This lie. That I had been lying to literally everyone. And so there was somewhat of that. And
it's
then
like the thing that was keeping you alive for 9 months, like making you feel alive. And then turns out it ended up being the thing that was kind of eating you alive.
1000%.
Yeah.
And
that's what affairs really can be.
they
Truly.
they are. And it's
From keeping you alive to eating you alive. And then the release and getting caught or like admitting it or whatever, and then being like, this is horrible, but I don't have to keep this secret anymore. And I don't have to live in a lie, or like I can almost like reclaim and never get to that place again.
Absolutely.
And it's like scary, but it is such I remember feeling the same way, even this relief finally when I told Rachel, and it was just like,
oh my God. Yeah. And it's like, you're like in such deep sadness.
Yeah.
And you're still living in that shame and guilt. But at the same time, you're like, the deep part of me is like, feels so much better. Like,
yeah.
I remember like a lot of the external like seemed crazy and out of control and spiraling, but there was like this deep fire inside me that I was like, everything's going to be fine because now I'm living in truth, you know?
Yeah.
And I knew it was going to be a long journey of having to pull myself out, like dig myself out of this hole. And my God, it has been. But there was that underlying feeling of like, now I can actually like sleep at night kind of thing, you know, and that worry. I mean, when you're in an affair, it's like every day you worry, is someone going to find out? Are they going to are they going to see something, or, you know, or I don't know, you just like are like tiptoey and like, oh my gosh, like, I don't know. It's hard to explain, but you're just always worried that someone's going to find out.
You're living in fear of being found out.
Yes.
Constantly.
Yes. And it's an icky feeling. And so, yeah, I mean, Sam is like not the best at managing emotions, as like most men are not. But yeah, it's just, he's just so angry, which I understand, especially for the person that it was. And I've realized that when men are hurt, it doesn't come out as sadness. It comes out as anger. Like they don't process in the sense of like, oh, I kind of want to cry, or like, it's like, no, fuck you kind of thing. And that's kind of like what I've experienced since is like, there's been no closure. There's been no conversation. Like, it's literally just cutting ties. We only talk about our daughter when we have to. And there is zero respect. He's honestly, and it's again, pretty deserved, but he's just like so awful to me now. And, there was like, I remember initially having the feeling of like, wow, I like kind of was by your side during your hard times. And now I'm like needing you and you're just bailing.
Yeah.
Obviously mine was way worse, but,
we know of.
That we know of.
That we know of. Yes, you stood by him through a lot of his transgressions and everything too.
Yeah.
And the ones that you know about.
Correct. Right. And that's like, I mean, that's the one thing I can sleep at night with, you know, is that like, I know what I did and I admitted it. And we like, obviously not initially, but now I'm in this space of like, okay, now that I'm free, I mean, that's kind of what sparked me doing the 75 hard was I was in a space of like, wow, I'm like really low and I need to focus on something that's more positive and something, not toxic positivity, but more so in the sense of like a distraction from like being like hurt and depressed. And I just wanted to focus on my healing. And so I chose to do the 75 hard because so much of it is about mindset, living in integrity with yourself. Nobody's coaching you or overlooking you. It's like all a you versus you. And it really wasn't even about the workouts. It was more about the reading every day and the holding myself accountable to like completing it start to finish. And, I would have never completed it had I not gone through what I did.
Yeah.
And I was telling you guys earlier, like the first part of what happened was such an internal, like look at myself. Like it was, okay, this happened. Why did it happen? And who were you being? And how do you want to change that? And how are you going to not repeat the same mistake again? So it was all, I had to be alone. And it's weird because the 75 hard is kind of designed for you to be alone a lot because you're working out alone.
Yeah.
You're like reading a lot. Like you're not really going out because you're not drinking. And so it was actually like a perfect space and time for me to take a good hard look at myself and kind of just realize what my habits were. Also realize that that's not who I was being. Like, it's so funny how we're like the 5 people we spend the most time with. Right. And I was in a marriage where I was with a liar and somebody that was a cheater. And that's literally what I became, even though I'd never done that previously in any other relationship. Like I had never been a cheater. I never really, you guys know, I'm not like the lying type. Like I'm not like, that's just not who I am. And so it's
probably why your family almost had trouble even adjusting.
Absolutely. Because they're like, who is
so
this
out of
person?
character.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. And it was like having to take a hard look at that. Like, wow, I was living that life for so long and I like made it okay. And it like looking back now, I'm like disgusted at who I was being and how I was living. Especially like having 2 kids and like, you know what I mean? It's just like obviously not a good example and like not something I will tell them eventually everything that happened, but when they're older, but it's like, obviously I'm not proud of that, but I know I do make, like everybody makes mistakes. And it was just the environment that I was in. And then also like I completed the 75 hard. And then of course I called Karen and talked to our intuition coach who we love so much. It was really cool speaking with her because I felt like I was finally in a better place because I was dealing with all that like internal struggle and taking a look at myself. Then I had like talked to my family and kind of dealt with like the external, apologizing to them, trying to get to the bottom of like how they felt about it. And like lots of tears, all the things. So I did internal, I did external. And then I talked to Karen and I was like kind of in a better headspace. And she basically was like, wow, like that, long story short, she basically said that whole thing needed to happen for you to recognize self-love because you did not have it before. And she said, you also were really not happy in your relationship. She asked me, she was like, so how happy would you say you were in the marriage? And I was like, I don't know, based on my actions, maybe 50%. And she's like, Spirits just confirmed 47% happy. Like you're not happy in that relationship. She's like, because I had kind of told her like a brief overview of what happened. And she's like, yeah. She's like, did he ever admit that he was with other people? And I was like, no. And she's like, well, was he, you know that he was physical with them, right? And I was like, he never told me that. And she's like, oh yeah, honey, like a lot of times. And again, it's an intuition coach. It's not like confirmed, but she's like, but he will never admit that to you, just so you know. Like, even if you like something happened where he probably should tell you, he's not going to.
Because you're always going to be the bad guy.
And exactly. And she said, he's like, he is going to blame you until the end of time. And I hate to tell you this, or maybe like you'll like to hear it, but he is going to repeat the exact same thing because he can blame you. He is not taking a look at himself. Yeah, exactly. And he is taking zero responsibility because he feels like you wronged him in such a way that you're his scapegoat. And so he is dating someone else and he loves her, and he doesn't love her as much as he loves you, but he does love her. And obviously that's like triggering and hurts, but like at the same time, I get it. He's allowed to move on. But she's like, and he thinks about you all the time, but it's not in a good way. And I was like, I believe that. And she's like, but just so you know, you cannot get caught up in that, which I do. Obviously, we all do. When people say hurtful things to you, you think about it, you internalize it, you try and see what you can do better. But she was basically like, you have to let it go, because I'm seeing your future, and there is so much celebration. You are at the brink of something new. You needed this to happen for you to open up a whole new rebirth for you. Yeah. And you were never, ever going to leave him. He was never going to leave you unless something tragic like this happened. And it was like, you should have left a long time ago. She's like, there were so many red flags. I know you saw them. She said this without me even saying anything. She's like, there were so many red flags. I know you saw them, and like, you should have left a long time ago. And there was no other way you're going to leave unless this happened. And deep down, you knew that. And it was pretty crazy. And then she was like, yeah, there's just so much ahead of you. She's like, you're a powerful queen. Like you are so sure of yourself now. Like, you are so high vibe. Like, people love being around you. Like, and that you were just held back for so long. Yeah. And she's like, you have to have the vision and stop playing small, because there is so much more for you out there. And you were never going to open your eyes to it until this happened.
Amen.
And yeah, it's pretty crazy, because I do believe her. And like, you guys, the internal work and taking a hard look at yourself is, I mean, you know it, you journal all the time. You guys do all the things, and it is so hard. I mean, I can't say it enough. Like, it's being like experiencing an emotion and literally sitting with it, not trying to push it under the rug, not trying to change it, just sitting with it and crying or doing whatever you need to, realizing that emotions are visitors and allowing it to be, so that you can actually feel that feeling and not suppress it, and then moving forward. And then also having that complete honesty with yourself. Okay, like, I was being a liar. I was a cheater. I was like living this life, and how am I going to not do that again? And then you start to write down your habits and things that you have to do and hold yourself accountable to in order to not repeat the same mistake. And so I basically just like made promises to myself. Like, I also am not like 0% ready for anything new, which I've talked to Lisa about. We love her.
Shout out to therapy.
Yeah. Love therapy. Thank you, Rach, for introducing me. Anyway, so yeah, I was just telling her, I'm like, that is not on my radar. It's interesting though, because now that I'm free from that thing that I was doing, and I'm in this kind of new space, I feel like I am not ready to date. I was like, feel like my priorities have completely shifted. And like, my major focus is work and my girls. And like, I have had so much gratitude for my realm of women. Like, I can't even say it. And like, I am so lucky. And I really, in my deepest heart, feel like if I never found a man again, I would be okay with that, because
so empowering.
I have such, I mean, I can't even, like, makes me want to cry, because I did a part of the internal work, and then bleeding into the external work, I called every single one of my best friends and told them the entire story, which you guys took a very, very long time. But I told them the story start to finish. And
Good
that
for
was a
you.
part of my healing. I was just like, you know what? I'm not going to pretend that I was innocent, that I need to sit in this guilt and shame and be look and be honest with myself about it. And so I called all of them, and every single one of their responses was, I'm so sorry that you were going through that alone. I wish I could have known throughout the time. I am so sorry. Not, what the fuck were you thinking? How could you do that to somebody? Never. It was literally every response was so heartfelt. I can't believe it. And obviously that encouraged me to keep telling people that, well, obviously we're close to me. But it was like this feeling of like, wow, like when you are vulnerable with people and you share your story in a heartfelt way, like they want to meet you where you're at, and they want to show up for you in the way that they can now that it's happened to you, for you, whatever it is. But I was overwhelmed with peace and that everyone responded the way they did. It was so special. It really was. And you included Rach. Like it was, you were probably one of my scariest ones, honestly.
She's pretty fucking scary.
Yeah. And
no, you're not.
Not for that reason, but like to address the elephant in the room. Like people who are listening are probably like, Rachel, so you were with the cheatiest of cheaters and you're sitting here
with
like
one,
like really good friends, like with a couple of cheaters. Like, are you a hypocrite or like what's going on?
Yeah.
And so like, I'd love to address that of like, there's a difference between a good person doing a bad thing and a bad person continuing to do bad things and never looking at themselves. And I think accountability and like honesty and growth is like such a big part of this.
It's
and
true.
That's what I told you from the beginning is
did.
like, I know who you are.
Yes.
I know you're a person of integrity. This is not who you are. It's what you've done. Like we're not sitting here endorsing cheating. We never have. Megan and I have never sat here and endorsed affairs. I know Blake doesn't either. It's not a good thing. You can also
look at it with compassion of how you got to that place and the fact that you're owning up to it now.
Yes.
I can understand you as a human, as someone who's in the same position.
Correct.
Of why you were there and why you made those decisions. But then to be able to sit with it and own it, really look in yourself and be like, I feel so free to not be in that lie anymore. And how am I going to never do that again?
Correct.
And encourage others.
Yes.
Like it's so brave. Honorable.
It is. And like you started it, Meg, like you really did. And I mean, that was a huge reason I agreed to come and do this, was because I know you were so scared to do it too.
I was really fucking scared.
And it's like, you just don't know how people are going to respond. Everyone has an opinion.
Yeah.
And it's like, again, like with my work, I typically mentor people and I'm a leader in what I do. And it's like, but everyone makes mistakes and everyone has their weaknesses and insecurities. And sometimes they get the best of you and sometimes they don't. But but it's really with anything, get knocked down 7 times, get up 8. Like it's so much about the response. And I think that's what people saw when I reached out to them about it, was like, they saw that I felt awful and, that I was being super vulnerable and I didn't have to share with them. And it was like like you said, like, that's not who you are. And I think that's it. And like, it was almost like they were impressed that I was being honest about it, you know?
Exactly.
Where it's like, and like a lot of them felt like honored that I told them, which was really special to me. And I
did.
Yeah, I know. And like, again, like you were my scariest person, and like, you just honestly like set the tone for a lot of it. And it was like, I don't know. I just, thank you. Like, that's all I can say is like, it was really special. And, it just kind of encouraged me to keep going. And it's like you get those, when you're healing journey, you get those like little wins and you're like, okay, I'm meant to keep going. Like this is in the right direction. Obviously it's like 2 steps forward, 1 step back, but it's those like little responses that you get, or those little feelings of like, wow, that like, I feel better because I went outside my comfort zone and now I'm seeing the result of it. Like those are the things that kind of get you to the next step of your healing.
Yeah.
Right? It's hard enough taking a good hard look at yourself, like really honestly looking at yourself. That's scary and hard as fuck.
Yeah.
But then to go take it the next step and be like, like Megan called it her round of confessions. Like she just was going around to everyone in her life and honestly confessing what she did. And then to take it to the next step and come on a podcast and be like, okay, now everyone take a good hard look at me. Like, this is who I am. This is what I did.
Precisely.
I fucked up, but I own it. And like, I'm learning from it. I hope you can too.
Correct.
It's so honorable. It's so commendable. Like, again, Megan was super scared to do it. She thought she was going to like get whatever response she was going to get.
Oh yeah.
It's going to be the same for this.
Yeah.
Like,
and I know. And it's like, I needed it. I really do feel that way. It's almost like the last step for me because I've been having that calling of like, I need to tell my story. I need to tell my story. And then of course, whenever you put something out to the universe, it's like, oh, and Rachel calls me like, okay, just FYI, we're thinking about having you on the pod. And I was like, literally was thinking about that this morning. Okay, great. I guess this is my opportunity. Yeah. And
intentions
it's so
powerful.
It's unreal.
Yeah.
It's really unbelievable. And so I just like, I don't know. I really, this is kind of like my full circle moment of like, okay, I really am on the right track. And I have done a lot of work, and it's like a way of kind of looking back at like all the work that I have done.
what would you say to somebody who's maybe like in a similar situation as you, like struggling in their marriage or scared to leave their marriage because they don't want to be a single mom or considering having an affair, or maybe worried their husband's having one, just like very unsure, lots of doubt?
I think like the biggest thing is the vulnerability and like getting to the root of the problem as quickly as possible. Like having the conversation of with your partner, like, hey, I'm having these feelings of wanting to be with somebody else, and I don't know where they're coming from, but I wanted to address that with you because I don't know where, I don't
Scary
know why,
thing to
I don't know
admit.
why this is happening, but clearly it's something that's going on with us. And then it just sparks the conversation of like, okay, obviously those hard conversations are the only place you get anywhere, but it's like, that's not going to feel good for someone to hear.
No.
And that's probably why like we avoid communication in a lot of ways is because we don't want to hurt somebody. We don't want to hear the things we don't want to hear on the other side. Like, but I think just like the ultimate honesty within your relationship. I feel like there's so many times that we talk ourselves in or out of things, like especially in the beginning of a relationship when you're like, there's red flags and you're like, oh no, it's fine. And like, you kind of stay in your own head about them. First of all, like reach out to a friend and talk to them and like make sure that you get it outside your head, because we are going to talk ourselves in and out of things like a million times.
Yeah.
And there may be a red flag and a perspective that they can give you that you didn't really see before. And I didn't really do that in the beginning either, like where I kind of like shut everybody out. I didn't even tell anybody that I was getting married, and I did it anyway. So that's like one thing, like with the red flags, like address them, like don't ignore them. If you're having feelings about something, share it.
If it's too scary to start with your partner, start with a friend.
Correct.
First to get to that point.
Yeah.
But how powerful would it have been to, and I even think about that with my ex-husband. He'd ask me, why didn't you tell me you wanted to sleep with someone else?
Right.
I remember being like, why the fuck would I tell you that? That's
yeah.
so hurtful.
Yes.
Like I would.
Yes.
But then I look at, well, then look what ended up happening instead. So it's like having that, maybe
Correct.
I would have been able to realize I was no longer happy in the marriage if we...
For sure.
Yeah, had that really hard,
which is again something that you don't really want to admit or look at, but it's like, what's the trade-off? Wasting 5 more years of your life,
wasting
and
years having an affair,
bears
like
hurting each other nonstop, you know,
being unhappy.
Literally, and like sacrificing your happiness, right? And then also, I guess like the second part of your question, like if someone's like in an affair right now, like you're probably not telling many people, just tell one person. Like that's what I would say is like, just tell your one person, see how they respond. Just be honest with one person. And I think I say that because it's like the truth pretty much always comes out anyway, but to have that one safe space where you can actually have like a back and forth and just get outside your head. I think is really important. Whatever that person says to you is up to them, but at least it's not this like thing that's eating you inside. And most of the time, and most likely, they're going to give you some perspective that tells you should probably go have a conversation with your partner and tell them. But the secrets and living, I mean, they can eat you alive. And so it's like, get outside that headspace. Like mental health, like it's a big buzzword right now, but it's like, that's the only way to actually address your mindset and like actually your mental health around it, because it can hurt. It can really end up hurting you, and like you will sabotage the rest of your relationships in your life. And honesty just sets you free. It's the best thing I can tell you is like the new world that I'm living in now with like full on integrity. It's a lot harder at times, but the work that you do in order to have the conversation and be in integrity pays dividends later on. Whereas like when you're lying, it's not just one, it's like covering up this one. And then, oh, what did I say to that person? I mean, it's just so much more work, and then it becomes exhausting, and then you're inside your head and you're literally driving yourself crazy. Yeah. So just get outside your own head, tell that one person, and like go from there. That's like the best thing you could do, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
That's like almost verbatim some of the same advice I had.
Really?
This is kind of surreal right now, honestly.
I
remember,
bet.
I think I was like, find a Thelonious and tell them, get out of your head and talk to someone about it. 'Cause that's going to naturally lead you to making better decisions.
Well, and then too, like the distraction, like when I was covering up all the lies, it was like, I was spending so much time remembering what I had said to one person and the next. And I was like, this is awful. I can't even really focus on work. Like I'm not getting anywhere in life because I'm too obsessed with like covering this up. And it's awful, you know, like that's, I think why I'm like so like my whole aura is opening up. Like I really do feel like I'm a completely different person now. And it's because I don't have to spend the time on that other bullshit, you know?
No, you really can't be your best
No,
self,
it's impossible.
living your best life if you're hiding secrets and you're not being
impossible.
honest.
Correct. Yeah. And that's like something I didn't realize obviously until now. And it's just such a more free feeling. And yeah.
And
that's so funny.
Not
the same
just
advice.
for affairs, but anything really.
Yeah.
If you feel like you have a dark secret or something that you might be ashamed of or scared to tell other people, keeping that alone is, you can't be your best self. It's exhausting.
It's exhausting. Yeah. 100%. So anyway,
dang,
that's
dude.
my story.
Well, you crushed it.
Thanks.
For real.
I'm really proud of you. Like that's not an easy thing to do.
No, it's
so really proud of you.
Again, like I really don't know what's going to come of this. There's probably going to be a lot of opinion. There's probably going to be a lot of back conversation, but it's like, it really, I'm being honest, it's a part of my healing journey. Like that's
maybe
all.
we have you on for a part 2.
Oh my gosh.
At some point.
I mean, if we can just hang and drink wine like this, hell no, right?
So
oh my God, we have so much shit to talk to you about, honestly. Like you are a very interesting person. We could talk about a lot of shit with you.
I don't know how I'll take that comment.
No, only positively. Only positively.
Okay, you guys, thank you so much.
Thank you
for
Thank
allowing
you.
me space.
Yeah.
To do that. I was nervous, but also like very excited too. Like there's nobody I probably would have sat down to do that with. So thank you for providing the space.
We're honored. We're honored.
I love it.
And we're really proud of you.
Thank you.
You didn't have to do this.
You're right. I didn't.
You chose to. And that speaks volumes
I know.
about you and your character. And you are a person of integrity. And
Thank you.
Continue to prove that.
I will also say that about you. Like you asked me, and I don't know why it coming from you. It just, I don't know. It just, and like obviously both of you, but it was like, I don't know why it was like, you're a safe space for me. And so if it was almost like the perfect opportunity for me to share, because I was thinking about like going live on my Instagram and sharing, and I'm like, it just doesn't feel like the right platform. And so like when you said it and it's like, I love you so, you guys both so much, I was just like, yes, you know? So thank you.
Thank you. There's something like validating about sitting in a room with 2 other people, like, and just hashing it out and talking versus kind of talking at a camera and like hoping for the best, you know? You are still talking to a camera, but we are giving you feedback. And we can kind of like validate what other people might be thinking or wondering or whatever. And
very, very true.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Good. We're proud of you. Thank you for coming on. We love you.
Love you too.
Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to this podcast and send it to somebody who it might help. It's really important. And also don't forget to follow us on Instagram and TikTok at the.traumedy.show.
Okay, bye.